Alright, hi everyone, welcome back to Steam Flow. Today I've got 3 big Steam Deck updates that you don't want to miss. The new redesigned Steam Store is now available on all platforms, including the Steam Deck. There is a new app available on iOS and Android that will help you choose the best settings for the games on your Steam Deck. And finally, the LCD Steam Deck is now at a 20% discount until October 6th. Without further ado, let's jump into all of that. So first off, the sale. Right now, Valve has discounted the 256GB LCD Steam Deck by 20%. I think that's one of the lowest prices it's ever been. This deal comes 1 week before the official Steam Autumn sale, and it will run until October 6th. Now it's important, this is only for the 256GB LCD model, not the 64GB, not the OLED versions. It's not for refurbished versions either, it's just for the official LCD 256GB. What you're getting here is the middle of the crop. The 256GB LCD is what I originally got 3 years ago, and I think it's still an amazing device, especially for that price. Now you're not getting the OLED screen, the HDR, the upgraded battery, the improved Wi-Fi chip of the OLED, but performance is pretty much the same for the LCD, and you'll be running the same games with the same power. At this price point, it's a no-brainer. If I didn't have it, I would buy it right now. I think it's a great time to jump into the Steam family. With all the improvements that Valve has made over the years, I think Steam Deck is still one of the best handheld consoles. At this price, it's a no-brainer, as I said. Next up, the Steam Store. Valve has officially rolled out its redesigned store menu, and it's now live everywhere on desktop, mobile, and the Steam Deck. Now, one of the biggest issues of the Steam Store on the Steam Deck is that it loads in a web page. That's still the case. However, this new design is oriented towards bigger buttons and more easy access to different categories, so it's easier to see and easier to find games that you want to play and buy. So it's a fantastic experience. The update focuses on making browsing experience more dynamic and more personal. Categories are now easier to navigate, menus are reorganized, and the whole layout feels much smoother on smaller screens like the Steam Deck or on your phone. The search bar is now also smarter. It now shows personalized suggestions, remembers your recent searches, and makes it easier to discover new titles or find deals you would otherwise miss. I think for Steam Deck, this is a real quality of life upgrade. The old store menu did work, but I would usually prefer to buy my games on the desktop and then install them on the Steam Deck. This new one, while it still loads in the web page, I think it's a much better option, and it just feels better to use, especially on the Steam Deck. Now, lastly, I want to talk about the new app that is currently in open beta. It's called DeckSettings, however, that may be subject to change. The app was developed by Felix, the same person who is behind the Deck Filter app, an app that I featured previously a couple of times on this channel, and it's really a lightweight version of Deck Filter. It's completely free. You can install it on iOS or Android, and once you set up your region, you can search for any game on the store, and it will pull in community tested settings from websites like ShareDeck, Steam Deck HQ, and Overkill to show you ProtonDB compatibility, Valve badges, review sentiments, so you know how a game runs on the Steam Deck before you buy it or before you install it. It can include battery life estimates, FPS targets, LCD versus OLED variations. The app offers quick links to resources like Steam, ProtonDB, How Long to Beat, patch notes, update history, PC Gaming Wiki, Steam charts, and a lot more. Pretty much every resource on Steam and Steam Deck that exists out there has been crammed into this app, and it's just one tap away, and you can check everything about the game, from how it runs to how much it costs to what's the lowest price it's ever been to how many players are playing it right now. Pretty much everything, and it's completely free. Right now it's in open beta, but later this week it will probably have a full release. I think it's a pretty fantastic app. It aggregates a lot of resources into one. In other words, instead of bouncing around multiple sites or forums trying to figure out how a game runs, you can just open one app, load the game that you want, and read pretty much everything about it. So that's pretty much it for the news. I think the 20% discount is fantastic. It's one of the lowest prices the Steam Deck has ever been. The new store redesign really helps improve the experience on the Steam Deck, and this new handy tool will save you a lot of time if you just want to play your games on the Steam Deck. That's gonna be it for this video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more Steam Deck news and other Steam Deck content, and let me know your thoughts on the new store. Do you like the redesign? Have you tried it specifically on the Steam Deck, and do you think it's a better option? Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.